Hey beautiful people, how's it going? And welcome to a new video. So today I want to talk about my low investment farming strategy that I've used over the past 2 leagues in order to make around 30 to 40 divines within the first 3 or 4 days. Now, full disclaimer, this will require a decently strong character as you will be farming tier 16 maps. It will need to be able to do all modifiers in the game because our modifiers on the maps are going to be randomized, and it will also require you to have a somewhat decent amount of completion of your Atlas done already. So without further ado, let's get into the Atlas tree and the strategy breakdown. Okay guys, so getting into the strategy, we are going to be farming the tier 16 map Val Temple, which contains 10 additional guarded Val vessels. Now I talked about this last league, and it's even better this league with the updated tree, because you can pretty much spawn most content relatively easily, pretty much 90% of the time. It's actually cracked. So Val Temple maps give you areas contain 10 additional guarded Val vessels. And if you don't know, Val vessels are essentially strong boxes on steroids, which drop corrupted items only. So you can get like 6-link, loads of 6-link chests, which I've sold plenty of. You can get 21 gems, which are excellent at League Start, as well as 23 quality gems, which are also very good because you can sell them for gem cutter prisms. On top of that, you get a lot of uniques that are double corrupted or just have single corrupt implicits. I got a Heat Shiver with +1 power charge on day 2, and I also got quite a few Gloom Fangs, which are obviously quite expensive as well. So, yeah, they are quite nice. The drawback is that Val Temple is an absolutely horrendous, terrible layout map, and nobody likes to run it. Now, you can overcome this by running the Twist of Fate Keystone. Twist of Fate, your corrupted rare maps and any Atlas missions, map crafting options, and scarabs applied to them are modified unpredictably when opened. So what this does, you put in Val Temple, and it will Twist of Fate and turn Val Temple into any other core tier 16 map, which is really, really good because it retains the implicit of 10 additional guarded Val vessels. This means that you can just essentially run normal maps and still have these super cracked strong boxes on those maps as an additional modifier. So it's essentially an ambush scarab that gives you 10 strong boxes. Now, these Val vessels are essentially strong boxes, which means they are actually affected by strong box nodes. So you can take tamper proof and +1 strong box over here. You don't take these ones because they don't really affect it. You don't really drop much currency, and like you can't get Val vessels that specifically drop divination cards. So yeah, that's essentially what you do. Now, this is the reason that you need a really strong character, because unfortunately, Twist of Fate will completely randomize the modifiers, meaning you can't decide what modifiers you can do. So you will need a build that can do like Reflect and no Leech and no Regen. In my case, I'm using Spectral Shield Throw, and this is one of the reasons I always start with Spectral Shield Throw, is because it excels at farming these maps, which is an absolute moneymaker at League Start. Now, on top of this, on top of the Val Vessels, with the new Atlas tree, you can spawn like whatever content you want to do extremely easily. Like, I'm currently doing Expedition. I have all the nodes which increase the Expedition spawn, as well as blocking most content. And I get Expedition 4 out of 5 maps, if I had to say. Now, Expedition is obviously cracked. These maps have extremely high quantity, which means that things like logbooks and refresh currency are extremely common. So you're going to make an absolute boatload just running Expedition passively with the Atlas tree. And if you have more points, unfortunately I don't have that much completion, but if you have more points, you can also run Eater of Worlds for some upsides with the Eldritch Altars. Now, on top of that, I'm actually going for Heist because I actually really enjoy running Heist. So I'm spawning Smuggler's Caches and hoarding blueprints and contracts and stuff like that, and I'm just running those and making currency in my spare time when I'm not streaming or something like that. But yeah, that's essentially the strategy that I'm using. You'll get a boatload of uniques, a boatload of corrupted jewels, gems that you can easily sell. And yeah, you don't necessarily have to follow this tree to a T. The core principle is that you're going to be farming Val Temple with Twist of Fate, and that's going to randomize maps, and you can do whatever content you want to do with that. But in my experience, I always find Expedition to always be the most profitable because Expedition is just absolutely cracked, and you can't really determine what type of layout you're going to get. For instance, if you knew you was going to get Toxic Sewers, Blight farming would be extremely profitable, but since it's randomized, Expedition is just a generally good shout. Now, another thing to note about Val Temple is that these modifiers up here, the increase effective modifiers on your unique maps, non-unique maps, sorry, can actually affect the implicit as well. So if you were to take all of these, you could actually buff up the amount of Val vessels you get on the map. And if you took something like Wandering Path, that would also affect it, and you can get like 16 Val vessels. But in my experience, I have tested this previously, and it's not really worth it compared to farming something like Expedition. However, it can be extremely fun to open even more Val vessels in a map. So yeah, that's my strategy, and that is how I pretty much farmed up most of my gear that I'm going to be using to swap to Shield Crush right here. Like, I managed to get an Ashes for 14 Divines on like day 2. I think it was day 2, day 3, I don't know. One of the two. Seething Fury and stuff like that. Yeah, these jewels can also drop from the Val vessels, and they are worth a lot right now. They'll probably go down as the league progresses, but yeah. So that's it, guys. Nice short video. I hope if you try the strategy, it will be fun. Oh yeah, one thing to note is that these maps cost between 10 to 15C. So essentially, you're just spending 10 to 15C per map, which if you get Expedition is usually going to be covered straight away because Expedition, as I said, is absolutely cracked. So that's just it, guys. I hope you have fun with the strategy. Yeah, take care. Oh, actually, before I go, another thing to note with this strategy is that the price of protection also drops here because you get a lot of Val bosses. So you will be able to passively farm up Outer Guardian maps like so. And you just hand these in whenever, and you'll get a modified corrupted Guardian maps, which you can also sell for about 17C right now, I think they are. Maybe a bit lower. But yeah, these are also cracked. So yeah, great strategy. Hope you enjoy it. And now I'm done for real, guys. Take care, and I'll catch you in the next one. Before I go, big shout out to my King Patreon supporters, Ascend, Multi-K, Nifty, Isaiah, Pandoxy, Gavin, and Stu. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the support. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Take care.